Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Alright, well, we're going to do a little bit of a stream today. I forgot to get water. Oh well, we'll see how long I last. But anyway, yeah, I think one of the main things that's still on my mind is this amount of time that it takes to put the card pool together. So if you remember from the last stream, what we were doing is loading up or instantiating all the cards into this all cards pool here. And that's happening inside of this create unlock menu card pool, which is happening inside of this static constructor there. The problem though is that this is taking roughly like 100 milliseconds to create all those cards, which is fine, but I'd rather not have to wait for that. I'd rather not have that block the main thread, especially as this list grows. So what I'm going to want to do, I think, is try to do this in some kind of like threaded way, but every time I try to do this on like a thread or something, it like locks up, it just freezes up. So I want to do some experimentation with this and see what's going on there and if there's anything that I can do about that. I wonder if doing something like loading this scene by itself every time will help. I don't know if sharing this reference is a problem or what. Maybe this bind to card is a problem. Who knows? I mean, it could be it could be a problem. I wonder if I could delay. Well, I don't know. We could try a bunch of things. I just don't know why it's locking up when I try to do that. So we're going to try it. We're going to see what happens. And if I can get that operating smoothly so that it's not blocking the main thread when the game starts up, that would be ideal. And then that would basically solve my problem. My last remaining problem that I have with this unlocks menu. And yeah, I think that's basically it. So we're going to skip the ads for today, but just know that all the ways that you can support me are linked in the description below. You can wishlist Alchemortis on Steam, support on Patreon, join the Discord, all that good stuff. So check that out if you're interested. And let's get right into it. Hello, Ninja Link. Good afternoon to you. Hello, Nathan. Welcome. Jeremy, welcome, welcome. Coding stream to wrap up the workday. I just spent from like 12:30 to 3:30 dealing with all kinds of government forms. So my afternoon was not that fun. But we're back to game development. We're back to game development. Hello, Lincoln Pepper. Welcome back. Hello, Stray Pointer. Afternoon, another distraction dealing with JavaScript. From dealing with JavaScript. Yeah, there you go. I'm glad I could be your distraction. Oh, wow, that actually... Oh, we got some weird things happening now. Oh, it's taking more time all of a sudden. What in the world? So there's still some weirdness going on here. Is there anything... Why is it taking a long time all of a sudden? This is so weird. Why is it suddenly taking a long time? What in the heck? Hello, Luca. Welcome back. So apparently there's still some weirdness we need to figure out. Going to the unlock screen from here works just fine, and then going into it from subsequent creations menu creations is not working. That is bizarre. So we went from 16 milliseconds to 50 milliseconds. All right, so we're gonna have to figure out. We're gonna have to figure out what's going on with that, I suppose. Anyway, let's handle this first. So I'm gonna try something here. Let's get rid of this. Await task.run. Maybe I don't really need an await in here. but we'll just do this. So I'm going to get rid of the card node creation in here and see if that works at all. Okay. That seems to have worked relatively decently. So all card pool created. Let's get the log in place here. All card pool created in 1.5 seconds. Why is that so long? Why does that take so long? Base card from ID. Card constructors to card instance. Maybe because I'm not setting up the card constructors yet, so maybe... Wonder if I warmed... would that work here? Or is this happening... Oh, you know what? I wonder if this is happening out of order. I wonder if I can log what order these static constructors are happening in. I guess I could do like gd.print. We could do, oops, data initializer.log.information card registry constructor. We could just go to all my different registries here and see. I wonder if this is happening out of order from what I expect. Character registry. I'm just going to log this so I have that information. Character registry constructor. Okay. Because I'm wondering if these are not initialized prior to that task running, I wonder if that's causing problems. But let's add more information in here. Okay. And then event registry. This one's not really that important, but we might as well be complete. Okay. Let's see what happens. The card registry rendered... The card registry constructor went first, so that's good. Where is... Oh, it's not creating the card pool. Why is it not creating the card pool yet? Oh, that's kind of a... All card pool created, so it's not actually doing the card pool creation until I get to that point. Interesting. But the card... This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense at all. What's on the agenda this time? Just more performance stuff. Trying to get this not to be so slow. I don't understand why this is happening. The card pool is just not being initialized for some reason. If I look at my log, card registry constructor. Oh, it is creating the card pool down here. Okay. So the card pool is created. Why is it taking 1.5? Why is it taking 1.5 seconds? I don't get that. Maybe if I store the all IDs here instead of referencing it in there. Let's get, well, let's just see what that does. It really shouldn't take that long. 1.5 seconds. Yeah, still 1.5 seconds. I'm not measuring that wrong, am I? I don't think so. Nope. So base card from ID, I mean, we can do this. Maybe I'm not initializing the card constructors, I guess. Let's see what happens if I just skip the card constructor call. 1.5 milliseconds. Why is that so long? There's literally nothing happening in here. So this apparently is taking 1.5 seconds. I'm just going to overwrite the start time here. Because I'm measuring outside of the await, so maybe that's... I don't know, I just don't know where that time is coming from. Maybe it's because it's a task and the scheduler needs to execute it. I don't know, maybe. Shouldn't take that long though, should it? 1.4 milliseconds. So yeah, it's only taking like 100 milliseconds, less than 100 milliseconds to get into the loop. I could do... Let's just put this in here. Let's just measure the loop just to start. That should be very, very small. If that's not small, that's weird. I guess that didn't get logged. Let's stop. Oh, all card pool. Now the card pool is being done up here. So that's 0.001 milliseconds. Okay, so the actual loop is fine. So yeah, it's something about the task scheduler, I guess. So, I mean, I guess that's just the bulk of the time is coming from the scheduling of this. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. But we could put the body of the loop back and see what happens. Compiler might optimize that away if there's no code inside the for block. Hello, Tomask. Greetings. Are you doing game dev full-time? I am, yes. I am indeed. So now I'm getting a lock here. So there's this create card node as being a problem. So this is what I was seeing before. So if I just do this, it takes 1.5 seconds to create the actual base card object. Now this is a ref counted, which may be a problem, maybe not. But let's see. 1.6 seconds. I mean, this may be tolerable. I don't know. But that's a long time. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's, well, maybe I shouldn't be modifying this. Here, what I'll do is I'll make this static all cards pool. And what I'll do is I'll do my own. Can I return something out of this? Okay. Let's do var all cards pool is equal to new dictionary string base card. Let's try this. I don't think that's going to help, but I don't think that's going to help, but we could definitely try it. We'll get rid of this card instantiation here. Do you have free games? Yeah, if you go to my itch.io, there's all kinds of free games. They're like really small games, but been grinding like crazy. Got to stop procrastinating on my game. Yeah, I mean, Alchemortis is getting close to being finished, so it's just a mad dash to the finish line here. That didn't do anything either. Well, 1.6 seconds. Anyway, let's see if we can figure out why this is locking up here. Base card set card node. Let me try just creating the card nodes instead of setting the card node there. Maybe that will help. The next thing is to figure out why it's like freezing. That's all. Okay, so it's locking up there. That's not good. This create card node is doing this. It's doing bind to card. So what I could do is I could maybe just do all the instantiations itself. So let me see. Let me see if I can just do that. gd.load packed scene, and then we're going to copy over. This is just going to be messy for a second while I figure out what the heck is going on. Okay, let's see if I can just instantiate the scenes in here. Just want to get it to not freeze, and then we can figure out what we could do about the 1.5 seconds there. Okay, that worked. So something about this create card node, maybe the bind to card is a problem. So if I do card scene dot bind to card base card, is this what's causing it to... Is this what's causing it to bug out? Four seconds, and there was noticeable lag there too. Interesting. So if I don't do this bind to card... No, it's still lagging though when it's creating all those nodes. 4 seconds, dang. That is not helping much at all, and it's actually affecting the frame rate too. Am I not going to be able to do this? Let me see what a concurrent dictionary is. Oh. I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I need a concurrency. Maybe because these are running sequentially here, just in a separate thread. So maybe I don't think I need that. I don't know. Would a thread instead of a task maybe better? This is a thread. So yeah. I assume you mean the Godot thread. As far as I could tell, the Godot thread is like no different. We could try it, I suppose, but... Hello, ever-varying life. I was thinking about the lag yesterday after stream, and I was wondering if a pooling system for the card effects would work, like on load, a card requests the effects based on its rarity. I actually am doing a card pooling now specifically for that menu, but I don't think pooling the effects individually would help. Maybe to some extent, but I think the scene instantiation is mostly heavy just because there's several nodes in the scene. Hello, Fira. Welcome back. So refreshing to see people like you still doing manual coding. I've been a software dev for the past 8 years and recently jumped into agentic coding and literally can't code manually anymore. Yeah. Async in C# does not guarantee a separate thread. Well, if you do task.run, it does. Queues the specified work to run on a thread pool. So unless this is not creating a thread when it says that it's going to. Thank you, Fira. I always use a different threading object. Name escapes me. Yeah, I mean, I think... I'm going to do something a little bit funky here. If I take the card scene here and I just do var dupe, what happens if I duplicate it? Maybe? Well, there was no lag. Interesting. I have no idea if that's, like, safe to do, though. But... okay, card scene.bind to card. Let's try this again. Anyone have any advice for me? I'm taking a break from my own dev. I'm an experienced artist, but I'm having a hard time learning code and using Godot beyond art application. Did GD Quest, etc. already? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say except, you know, it does take a lot of practice. Like, I don't know how long you've been doing it. Like, if it's only been a couple of weeks, then, you know, I think it's normal to have difficulties understanding code after just a couple of weeks of learning it. Like, it takes a long time, especially if you don't have, like, an aptitude for it. Then it could take a long time to wrap your head around a lot of the concepts, for sure, but you just got to keep practicing it. It's like any other skill, you know? Just keep practicing, keep at it. The fact that you're still seeing things that you don't understand or you can't wrap your mind around certain things is a normal part of the process, and it may take you longer to learn compared to somebody else, and that's okay. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to say beyond that. I don't think that's terribly helpful, but I don't live in async, but do you need to remove the await keyword so that it isn't waiting for completion of that block? Sorry, just brainstorming. I mean, yeah, we could try all those things. What I want to do, though, is, like, I think this is working now. Base card set card node. Dupe. Oh, dupe. Oops. Maybe I did this wrong. Okay, so that's not lagging anymore. That's very weird. Oh, we're down to 1.8 milliseconds. Interesting. So when I instantiate the scene up here and then I duplicate it a bunch, we'll make sure to queue free that card scene because we don't need that anymore. Oh, this is so this is so messy. But so instantiate the scene outside of the task and then just duplicate it inside of the task. That seems to speed it up quite a bit. That gets that card pool initialized. And if I go to unlocks, that is also very fast. But then the subsequent loads are a problem. So maybe there's something wrong with I'm not cleaning up the board or something. So we'll have to check that. We'll have to check that for sure. But see, when I do it from in here, there's just so many weird things happening. What the heck, man? What in the heck? But anyway, so, okay, so we're getting more to an acceptable level. So it takes like 1.8 milliseconds to create all of the card nodes for that screen. And it's not blocking the start of the game either, which is good. Oh, it now took 3.5 seconds. That's very weird. Let's remove the await operator, I guess. What does continue with? Just get rid of the await there. I don't think that's going to make any difference, but we'll see. All card pool created in 1 second. Okay, all right, we're getting somewhere. I'm just looking at my logs on my other screen. I was trying to see. Let me try something. We're going to get rid of the debug logs here real quick. How do I do that? Oh, I'm trying to open my VS Code. It's on the other window. Oh, it's been a long day so far. Let's just change this to information as well. Maybe I'll put a flag in my project settings for that, but I'm trying to look at the logs on the other screen and see if I can see when that, because I have a sneaking suspicion that it's still blocking. I mean, it shouldn't be, but maybe it is. I'm almost worried that it's still blocking for some reason. Let's try this. Let's just get rid of all this now. Will I notice? Might need to add more logging to indicate whether other things are happening. I probably need to better document like everything that's happening at startup so I could trace the exact thing, but I have a sneaking suspicion that this is actually blocking for an additional 1.5 seconds. I mean, maybe not. Oh, I have a way of testing it. Actually, I don't have a way of testing it. Can I introduce some kind of like artificial delay? Oh, I have an idea. Let's just duplicate this a bunch. No. Let's do it more sophisticated. For int I equals 0. We're just going to load it up. We're just going to do 10 loops of each. We're just going to do this 10 times. There we go. That's thinking. Only started coding in Godot last month, but the thing that seems to work for me is just making little things and jump straight into project and game. Jesus asked Simon, hey, what was your name again? Simon answered Simon. Jesus said, great, I'm going to call you Peter. Okay. Do you do your own art? I do, yes. I've been coding on and off for years, but never committed to it to the level I want to, and thank you, definitely going to practice more. Yeah, for sure. Split stuff in a bite-sized chunk, make dozens of test projects if you need to. Learning concepts in isolation, then applying them together is better than mushing everything together at once. How do you handle serialization for your data, like reading and writing data to from assets? Well, I use custom resources quite a lot to store data, to store like groups of data for things, and that's just like the Godot built-in way of serializing things. This is laggy, so there's something happening in the background here now. wonder if this is going to finish ever. Oh, it's done. Okay. So I do have confirmation that the game is running. So this was happening for 32 seconds. So the game definitely started running before that was done. So that's good, I suppose. Oops. Oops. What happens if I don't do the bind to card and set card node there? Also, I'm going to put this back. I'm trying to figure out where the source of the lag is coming from, because ideally that wouldn't happen. I mean, I guess... Because I think, maybe I'm wrong, but the only reason why a thread should cause the main thread to lag and stutter is because it's like locking something, or it needs some kind of information that's not thread safe or something. So it's lagging here. I don't know if you can notice that on stream, but I definitely notice a drop in FPS here. And then it goes away when it's done. So, why is this so difficult? This was locking it up, right? If I do it this way. It's probably not safe to do queue free in there, actually, now that I think about it. Hello, Junie. If it's a pure C# thread, no, it shouldn't block, but I imagine it's accessing shared Godot resources behind the scenes. Yeah, I think that's what is happening. It's kind of mind-blowing to me that Godot doesn't have an easy way of, like, constructing scenes on a thread in a nice, clean way. Let me look at the duplicate. I wonder if there's something I can do with duplicate here. Object, node. Where is this duplicate method? This is on a node. Duplicate. Duplicates the node. Yep. Behavior can be tweaked through flags. Duplicate scripts, duplicate use instantiation. How do I access the duplicate flags? Duplicate flags.default or use instantiation. Don't know if that's going to do anything, but we're playing around with things. Would you call yourself a dev who can do art or an artist who can code? I'm definitely a dev that can do art. That's the bucket that I fit squarely in for sure. I'm gonna try to do this. We'll just keep this loop here because this tells me, because it's hard to see if the performance is taking a hit, the frames are taking a hit if it finishes before the map comes in. So we'll just do it 5 times over and we'll see. Yeah. Ugh. Okay. It's almost better just to do it all up front, because it only takes like 100 milliseconds if I do it on the main thread. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, this stuff. Trying to think if there's more clever ways of doing this. I am almost tempted to still move to the rendering server way of doing the cards, because this would solve a lot of my problems with like instantiation and everything. What the heck is going on here? Hello, Real Crudo, welcome back. I'm doing well, and the cats are good as well. How are you doing? Son of a bee. Just joking around, hope everything's going well. Yeah, it is. Are you winning, son? No. No, I don't feel like I'm winning too much right now. I don't feel like I'm winning too much. I will not be outsmarted by Godot. Yeah, I almost think that doing this... I mean, okay, so the question now remains, like, do I want to deal with a little bit of choppy frames to start with? I don't even want to do this anymore. Do I want to deal with some choppy frames for the start of the game? This would actually be easier to see. Oh shoot, I deleted my loop. Okay. Why did this come here? What in the heck? Okay. So let me start it from the main scene, I guess. So let's not skip the menu. Let's see if it creates some noticeable lag here to start. That should still be... Oh, maybe it's going to take a while here. Ah. Because I still have that loop doing this 5 times. Card registry, yeah, so it went to the card registry constructor, so it should be, there we go, 31 seconds. Okay, so that was working, cool. So maybe it's okay, because if it's not creating noticeable lag when it goes to the main menu, at least on my machine, we'll have to see. How much AI do you use? I use it obviously for the smart autocomplete for Copilot, but also, you know, like when I was trying to figure out these performance things, using the AI to help me brainstorm or identify potential bottlenecks and whatnot. Certain algorithms are good to use with the AI too. Like I learned how to do like the wave function collapse by having a conversation with the AI. So I use it. I mean, I use it with some frequency, but I'm not like vibe coding the game. I don't have any desire to vibe code the game. Just because, like, I don't know. I feel like vibe coding the game is going to lead me to not understand my code base, and the understanding of the code base is like the most important thing, you know? Like if I could vibe code the project and have an intimate understanding of the code base at the same time, I would probably do that, but I don't know if those things work together. Like writing the code by hand and like writing all of the features yourself is the thing that gives you the intimate understanding of the code base. So like when I go to add new features, I don't have to know like, oh, I don't know how the system works. I don't know how I'm going to add that. You know what I mean? Probably overkill, but you could look at parallel 4. In theory, you would have a thread per card. Yeah, we could do that. I think, let's try it. Parallel for each, all IDs, card ID. This, I don't know why the AI added a bunch of stuff here. I think this new cards pool will have to change to a concurrent dictionary now. Now, the problem is, I think that this is still... I think that this is still going to run sequentially, if I'm not mistaken. Delegate, func, cancellation, token... That doesn't work. It's got to return a value task? What is a value task? I don't know. We could try that. That's 193 milliseconds now. The problem is that blocking, right? It shouldn't be, but maybe data initializer.log.information, begin card stuff, data initializer.log.information, card stuff still running. I am suspicious that that's not actually working. Begin card stuff still. Oh, it is. Interesting. Is that better than all card pool created in... I wish I knew how... let's do this. We're gonna just do very goofy ways of doing this. Where am I at? Check this out. There we go. How do we do the loop multiple times? That's how we do it. That is good programming practice right there. Oh, it crashed. I think there's still some crash related to card instantiation, which is weird. Yeah, so I think that parallel for each is actually blocking. It's actually blocking the thread. So that's not going to work. That was my experience with the parallel for each. Like, it does churn through big lists quicker, but there's still something weird happening with it blocking the main thread. It doesn't like spit that out into a entirely new thread, I don't think. 2026 professional vibe coder, 2027 unemployed. Yeah. 3 stream streak, Emerson. Very nice. Is this still running? Yeah, so all that card stuff is still running. So that stuff is still working in the background, even though it hasn't finished yet. Okay, so I think I'm just going to stick with that. This seems to work. It still takes just like a ridiculous amount of time, but it should be all right. Is C# always your default choice over GDScript? If so, why is that? Yeah, just because I like C# better. I feel like I can get the systems built that I want to get built more quickly and more efficiently. Begin start card stuff still running. Now it took 6 seconds. This is ridiculous. Why is it taking 6 seconds? I don't know how this thing works. Should be way more than 3. Yeah, seriously. I think it should be way more than 3. How is it that sometimes I'm getting 1.5 seconds and sometimes I'm getting 6 seconds? This is driving me nuts. Why is there no easy way of just like doing this kind of scene loading, scene construction in a thread in Godot? Why is it so difficult? I mean, I could try to use a Godot thread instead, which is what somebody suggested in the chat, but I've never had much luck doing that with C#, but we could try it. Godot thread. Let's see. I don't think this is going to make much of a difference, but we could try it. The only problem is, well, it's fine. I'm just curious to see what this actually does. Oh, it's still running. Oh, goodness gracious. Azir, not right now. I'm debugging. Oh, I put this in the loop, that's why. It's still taking 6 seconds, though. Did you see that? Can I help you? What? What? Can I help you? What are you doing? Progress since this morning? Yeah, I mean, kind of. Not really on this specific thing that I'm trying to do, but why is it taking 6 seconds? It's only doing 144 scenes. It's faster. It's way faster if I just do it on the main thread. Like, way, way faster. It takes like 100 milliseconds on the main thread and almost 7 seconds on a thread, whether I use the Godot thread or... This is baffling. What is going on here? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what to do here. Task scheduler default. I have no idea. Load pack scene causing slowdown. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to... So in order to get my unlock menu to work in an acceptable amount of time, what I'm doing is preloading all the nodes and storing them. So that way I don't need to instantiate them when I go to open up that unlocks menu screen. But the problem is if I load all those up on startup, that adds like, 100 milliseconds to the startup time, which is probably okay. But for development purposes, it's going to be really annoying. And now it's not even... I don't know. But yeah, so I was trying to just load up all those nodes in a thread so that it doesn't block the main thread when the game starts, but that is not working at all. I mean, it's working, but it is not... Can I do this? Does this operator work? No, it doesn't. So it's working, but it's taking like 7 seconds to instantiate 144 scenes. Or in this case, actually, it's 144 scenes. I have no idea. Is there a profiler? Not for C# and Godot. You could attach the Microsoft one, yeah. I mean, line 129 loading the pack scene. Oh yeah, that was just... I was thinking loading it prior. Actually, I think it was faster when I did this, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. It's working, but it's not helping, yeah. Does it have to call the main thread to instantiate? Is that something the thread can do? I mean, I did looking into this, and it seems like you should be able to do this on a thread, but maybe not. I don't think Godot is very, like, multi-thread supportive. Now this is lagging again too, so I just don't know what's going on. I just don't know what's going on here. Can you load the scene asynchronously? It's not the scene loading that's the problem. It's the instantiation that's the problem. Like, even if I load this synchronously, that's fine. Like, I can store a reference to the packed scene and then I just call instantiate here. This is going to take a negligible amount of time. It's the instantiation that's the problem. If I remove the instantiation, I think it goes back to normal. Can I help you, Kat? Can I help you? So if I go here, 44 milliseconds. Yeah, see? Oh wait, yeah, 44 milliseconds to just do this. So that is much more reasonable, right? So this base card from ID is just creating card instances, which are base card classes. These use ref counted, so that is interacting with the Godot layer. So 44 milliseconds to do all this, set up the task, and do that is good. Let me try this. Can I just create the card scene? Maybe it could be these bind to card and set card node. It might be better to do that outside of the loop, but maybe not. 6 seconds. What? Yeah, there just must be something internal to how the scene instantiation works. Gen edit state. Okay, well that doesn't make any sense. Do you need that ref counted if you always have an instance in that menu? Yes, I need ref counted because the menu is not the only place where cards are being created. Cards are being created and destroyed during the course of normal gameplay, so the ref counted is necessary to get rid of... I mean, the main reason why base card here has a ref counted is so I can pass it through via signals. If you don't extend some kind of Godot object, then you cannot pass object, like C# objects in Godot signals. So the only way to pass a C# object in a Godot as a signal argument is it either needs to extend something like Godot object, or it needs to extend a class that ultimately extends Godot object, or you need to create a wrapper object for it that extends Godot object. Removing this ref counted is something that I want to investigate doing, but that is not the problem here right now. So yeah, I don't know. It might just be better just to eat the 100 millisecond synchronous cost here. No worries. No worries. Oh, what am I gonna do? I'm actually really tempted to just go all in on using the rendering server for cards, because I think this whole card scene structure is just going to be an albatross around my neck. Even if I can get this somehow working for the main menu scene, which it kind of was already. Like I can go back to what I had and just load these synchronously. But, you know, there's a question of how well that's going to scale when I've got, you know, hundreds of more, like it's only 144 cards right now, but if I get up to 300, 400 cards, is it going to start breaking down then anyway? Like how much of a solution is this really? Is it just going to be like it fixes it with the number of cards that I have now, but is it going to become a major problem? Sorry, 1 second. You're creating multiples of that card. Yeah. That's true. Pagination. Pagination. I mean, that could work. That could work. Yeah, I don't know. I need to figure out what the heck is going on with this. I mean, I would love to show all the cards, because I think the reason why I want to show all the cards at once is because I think it's kind of impressive. It's kind of fun to just see a giant board with all the cards. Pagination, whatever it's called. Could be a solution for that. But, yeah, we'll see. Worker thread pool, reading Godot docs right now. Could you make all the cards under one parent and then instantiate the parent? Could I do that? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really tested that. I haven't really tested if like instantiating one giant scene is better than instantiating a bunch of smaller scenes. But that would be kind of like, I mean, it would be kind of technically difficult in my case because, I mean, would it be, what would be the approach for that? Because the problem is the card scene here, there's not a unique card scene for every card. It's one card scene that gets configured with the card data. So I still need a process to create all the individual card scenes and somehow persist those to like a giant parent scene. Yeah. I'm kind of stumped, everybody. I don't know. This scene instantiation is being just a big issue. I'm not going to keep this task run. I'm not going to do that anymore. So if I look at this now, all card pool. So we can see that the card pool gets created. When it's run synchronously, it's actually pretty fast. All card pool created in 115 milliseconds. So when I'm trying to do it in a thread, it goes up to like 7 seconds versus synchronously is 115 milliseconds. So there's something definitely wonky about that. It's not friendly at all. The other thing I could try... Can I do this? Hold on. Can I do a parallel.for each inside of the task.run? Does this work? My last attempt here. Worker thread pool, add group task. Worker thread pool, add group task. Callable up from target scene.instantiate, pool to add instance. Okay, interesting. It's very likely that Godot does instantiate single-threadedly. Yeah. It is also not thread safe. Yeah, I mean, there are certain operations in Godot that are supposed to be thread safe. Now, I guess thread safe, something being thread safe is differently than something being like thread optimized. Oh, look at that, 550 milliseconds. What? So something can be thread safe without being like optimized or very nice to work with threads, right? Because like thread safe just means that you're not gonna run into any like all the data mutations and everything are going to be safe to do from threads, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get good optimization out of using threads, right? But it's down to 500 milliseconds now. So I just ran... Okay, interesting. Oh, crash. Why does that happen? Sometimes when the cards get instantiated too, that's causing a crash. So I just don't know. There's all kinds of weird stuff happening, man. Who knows? And now this screen is lagging again. I don't... Oh man, it's like playing a very, very unfun game of whack-a-mole. Let's put a breakpoint here. I want to see what happens. So I got it down to 500 milliseconds, which is still longer than it takes to do it on the... like, just the main thread here. Oh, right. So I'm still ending up with a problem here, which is that I'm not doing this part now. Card instance, card scene.instantiate. Oh. So let's put all this back. Base card dot... No, card instance. Bind a card base start. Okay. Let's see if that works. So that should bring my performance back. So what was happening is I was excluding the creation of that... I was excluding the creation of those actual card nodes there for testing purposes. So let's look at the log again. Oh my gosh. Okay, 548 milliseconds. Cool. So now if I go to my unlocks menu, it should be relatively quick. Hopefully. It crashed again. And there's no logs at all either when these crashes happen. Why is it crashing so much now? No logs at all either, so it's not helpful. Maybe I'll run the game from the Godot console. Oh, crash again. What in the world? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Please don't crash this time. Okay. Okay, the unlocks menu is quick again. Look at that. And then it's slow again for the subsequent bring ups. But we could fix that, I think. I think what's probably happening is I'm freeing the card nodes some way or somehow. Which shouldn't be happening, but I'll have to take a close look at why the card freeing is happening, but we can do turn skip menu on again. I'm curious if this is going to retain. $225 milliseconds that time. Wow. We're reaching speeds never before thought of. Crash again. Really? Oh, here we go. Condition not match is true. That's not super helpful. I got a log this time at least. I wonder if my unlock menu... I'm gonna have to take a look at this. What happens when I actually clean this up? For child... Okay, for card and all cards on board, board inventory component, get cards on board. Try remove card. Remove child. When is this card node actually freed? Let me take a look at this. When I call Q free on the card, but also, oh, you know what? Notification pre-delete. I wonder if this is inadvertently deleting things. It might be, actually. Let me see. So I have it so that whenever a board is being freed, any cards that are currently on that board will also be freed. But I wonder if that's being triggered here. Yeah, cards on board 90. So it's actually freeing the pooled cards when it shouldn't be, even though... Oh, I know what's happening. If I exit the unlocks menu with that screen up, I'm never actually removing the cards from the board before it gets freed. So it's freeing the cards here. I wonder if that's what was causing the crashing as well, because then I still have a bunch of references to the pooled cards, but they're no longer valid objects. And so maybe that's what was causing the crashing. Although that doesn't explain the crashing that I was having before I got to that unlock screen, so that's kind of weird. So I think basically what I need to do is right before this thing gets queue freed in here, so when I do like play out, right before this gets queue freed, I actually need to remove all the cards from the board. So I should probably simplify this. Let's say... Let's call it remove pooled cards from board. Let's put this in a more sensible spot. Okay, that should fix my various unlock menu problems now. Ask AI about the error. I may do that, yeah. I had one singular drop of water left in that cup. Oh, did it already crash? Very cool, very cool, very nice, very nice. I really don't know about this. Unlocks. Unlocks. Hey, it's working. I'm not inadvertently freeing those anymore. I don't know why this is changing here now. Oh, it's probably the same. Well, is it the same thing? Why does it look... Oh, crash again. That may be related to... That may be related to the card pack unlocks here now. I wish there was a more reliable way to... There it goes. Crashed. Oh, it didn't crash. But it's... It's still freeing those cards. Why? Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. This is a mess. So even though I just added this, remove pooled cards from board, it still thinks sometimes that there was cards on the board to free. There's a big old mess here. There's probably a problem here when I can bring up multiple menus. So the way that the menu escaping works is that I can... Once I have initiated a menu escape with the escape key, it no longer intercepts those escape key things. So I can like... It's almost like I can bring up another unlocks menu. No, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why that's happening. So there's still a situation here where these pooled nodes are being freed. So like, in that situation... I don't know, this is mind-blowing. What do you use for your stream music? Is it royalty free? Yeah, I bought a bunch of music from a game development sound effects pack, and I'm just using some of those tracks. But yeah, they're royalty free. I mean, I have the license to use the song in any commercial project, any commercial media project, which a stream is a commercial media project. So yeah, maybe do a completely new Godot project from scratch. Try to load 150 items in a UI. No, I don't think that's going to help. Loading 150 items in a UI is easy and quick. It's the intricacies here, the problems here are because of the specific systems that I've built. So there's still some card pooling weirdness here that I'm going to need to resolve. I'm gonna change this data initializer.log.information. Freeing. That's going to be useful information to log. Anyway. Well, we made some progress. I think I finally got the async loading down. This async method lacks await operators. Not anymore. Completely unrelated, but muscle memory is something else. I'm working on a drawing while listening to the stream, and I just tried to build it by pressing Control-Shift-V. Sometimes I'll be on a web page and I'll be like, oh, I don't want to lose this form, and so I'll hit Control-S and it's like, save web page complete. And I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to play with this some more. I'm really kind of tempted to just go the route of using the rendering server, because not only is that going to bypass all the problems that I'm having with scene instantiation, but I don't know, I feel like that's just going to be potentially reduce the crashing that I have as well. But I don't know, I wonder, the crashing that I'm having is potentially related to how the cards are related to the card visuals, I think. Because the crash seems to happen either when I am instantiating a card or when I'm freeing a card. That's what I usually see anyway. So yeah, we can see in the logs here. So it was freeing all of the pooled cards on the board. And then the next time I opened the unlock menu, it took 50 milliseconds to instantiate because I had to recreate all those cards. Or recreate all the card nodes anyway. So yeah, there's something going on here. But anyway, that's going to be it for this afternoon stream. A little bit of a shorter one, but that's all right. I'm going to have to just like toy around with this on my own time and just do a bunch of random experimentation, I think. But hopefully I'll have something more interesting for us to work on tomorrow. I think we've had enough of this optimization stuff, so I'm going to try to move back into doing content and whatnot for the game tomorrow. So I'll be back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for being here. You can wishlist Alka Mortis on Steam. That's linked below. You can also join the Discord. The link for that is in the description as well. And what else? That's it. Hope you all have a good day and appreciate your support. Thanks for being here. Was fun hanging out, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, take care everyone. Bye-bye.